What up? What up? It's your boy RVA from VA, Richmond to be exact, and I'm back again, back like I never left. Yeah, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? I'm back in the studio with an amazing experience at FedEx Field. Man, oh man, I didn't want to leave. I'm already looking at going to another game. Um, let's just talk about the game day experience real quick. The stadium was absolutely rocking. If people tell you that we didn't show up, they're lying to you. We were there in droves from the tailgating before the game. I mean, the parking lot was jumping at 9 o'clock in the morning. I got there early because I came from Richmond, um, and we were looking at the weather, and it was supposed to rain. But once the game started, none of that mattered. And it drizzled a little bit, but it didn't get too crazy out there. But I was prepared, had everything that you would need in case of uh, downpour. Had the poncho game on deck. Didn't have to wear it. I was actually hot because it was so muggy out there the whole time. So, like I said, I had everything. Also had towels to wipe off the seats too. So I came prepared to the stadium. But like I said, oh man, the atmosphere was off the chain. All you seen was burgundy and gold in the building. We really showed up and showed out to support this Commanders team. Um, like I said, I hadn't seen the stadium before, so from what I've seen, they've been doing a lot of cool things. They had outside vendors come in. They had DJ rocking before the game. Outside vendors doing their whole food thing and stuff like that. The stadium, the field, everything looked immaculate. Them filling in the end zones with the burgundy. Man, when I first walked up, it was absolutely gorgeous. It just felt like everything was right. And then also the guys coming out there with the white jerseys, the burgundy pants, and the white socks, that hit different. So glad they finally changed from wearing those burgundy socks. Uniforms look sweet in person. When I tell you, these uniforms look so dope in person. Seeing the guys out there on the field warming up, being able to interact with the guys. And one thing that I found that was very interesting, as me and my fiance was walking around, because like I said, we got there like 9, 10 in the morning. So we were able to spend some time just checking things out and stuff like that. And the players' parking lot, did you guys know? Like the players, like literally, they just walk right past you. Like it's not like you can't have access to them when they're coming, when they park their vehicles. You see them pulling in, you can be like, oh, that's JD McKissick, or oh, that's Sam Cosmi, or whoever it is pulling up. And they park and they walk right past you. It's so crazy. Want to bring up Darren Mathis real quick. Really had huge expectations for the guy. I've been a Darren Mathis fan since day one. And I actually was able to see him walk in, and I said to him, "Yeah, Mathis, like it's go time." And he looked at me and nodded, and that was a cool experience. And then he gets injured in the game, man. I felt really bad for him. You see, he was really tore up about it, and from what it looked like he was starting to actually make some impacts early in this game. He was able to get in there for a sack. So hopefully, the news came out, the MRI revealed that he has a tore meniscus, so he will miss the rest of the season. But like I said, back to the original point, the players walking right past you, you're able to see all these guys. It was super cool the way you could have access that close to the players as they're walking into the stadium with their regular street clothes on. So I did see a bunch of guys, Sam Cosmi, Trey Turner, Taylor Heineke, De'Ami Brown, like I said, Fadarian Mathis, just a bunch of Dax Mills, a bunch of guys walked past me, JD McKissick. That was absolutely dope to be able to see that. And then, they had the team stores up and running, selling merch. Like I said, the outside vendors with the food, the DJ was rocking. You know what I'm saying? It was a dope experience. But you know what we came there for? We came there to see the Carson Wentz revenge tour start, and the first team on the list was the Jacksonville Jaguars. You know, we've been getting trashed in the media, talking crazy. All the analysts, which I don't really care about them because I don't watch anybody that's in the mainstream media. I get my information from either me or guys that I respect in the podcast game. So that's why I gather my information. But the talking heads had Jacksonville winning this game. No respect. So I don't want to hear the excuse, especially coming from, we're going to talk about these Eagle fans today too, especially coming from these Eagle fans and all these people. Oh, it was Jacksonville, because when you looked at where they picked who's going to win the game, everybody had Jacksonville up there. And we showed y'all, and Carson Wentz showed you what he's able to do. Yeah, he made some mistakes. Every quarterback makes mistakes. Patrick Mahomes throws picks. Aaron Rodgers throws picks. Tom Brady went out there against the Cowboys last night, threw a horrible interception. Don't even know where he was throwing the ball to. They were able to put up 19 points and put that game away. But if you ask me, the performance was horrible. You know what I'm saying? But only our guy, Carson Wentz, gets, down talked and looked over. But he threw 4 touchdowns, man. Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 of them things. The last 2 were absolutely huge. And the crazy thing is, here in Washington, we don't score early. Seeing those first 2 drives in touchdowns, we didn't have to kick any field goals today. Outside of extra points, not today, on Sunday. Outside of extra points, we didn't have to see Joey Slye come out there. We were able to punch it in the end zone. We had that stale moment in the middle of the game when Curtis Samuel had that fumble. You could see, like, being in the stadium, you could see the energy just being sucked out of the stadium, and the momentum kind of swung. But the defense was able to hold on, and some of it was self-inflicted wounds. I'm not going to sit here and kick it. Jacksonville had opportunities, but they did what bad teams do. When those opportunities present themselves, you got to take advantage of them. Etienne, he looked super explosive, but he was dropping passes. Trevor Lawrence, the second-year quarterback, overthrowing guys. So they looked like a talented team, but just unexperienced. A lot of new pieces. They had a lot of acquisitions in the offseason as well. And they just, like I said, being a bad team, not having a winning culture, and then also all these young guys and guys trying to gel. That's what they looked like. You know what I'm saying? But in the middle of the game, it got kind of monotonous and things slowed down for us. But the beginning of the game, 2 straight drives, Carson Wentz puts it in the end zone. First touchdown in a regular season game for the Washington Commanders. Curtis Samuel, who could have wrote that story? He was absolutely like hype when he scored that touchdown. Man was out there dancing. He's from New York, so he was out there getting it. You know what I'm saying? Beautiful story. Dude, super explosive out there taking ankles, man. Jacksonville Jaguar players looking like they was on skates out there. Curtis Samuel just absolutely filthy in the open field. And they were getting the ball in this man's hand however they could, like out the backfield, short passes, dumping it to him. And every time he touched it, he was getting positive yards. Outside of that fumble, great game from Curtis Samuel. Love to see him get that touchdown. Like I said, and I mentioned in prior videos, getting his confidence back to where it needs to be is super important for that guy. And it just shows the versatility that he has, but also what we're able to do with Scott Turner when he's calling up these plays. We're no longer one-dimensional. We don't have to rely on just Terry McLaurin winning it for us, or else we don't have anything else. You know what I'm saying? We got weapons now. Curtis Samuel in that first half was absolutely amazing outside of the fumble. Also, with the good, there's the ugly. I'm going to keep it a buck here. Don't get me wrong. There was some passes early in the game. You see where Carson Wentz sometimes, he was selling balls. The accuracy can be in question, but, the guy, no matter what, he just keep coming at you. He doesn't let those things, get him off track. He just kept going. It was a couple passes that, we should have hit on and he was a little high on, and you start to see some of that stuff. So you see the good Carson, but you also see the bad Carson as well. But none of that matters as long as you can come out there, and with the bad, like I said, you finish a game that strong with two clutch throws, big boy throws. And this was the difference between a Carson Wentz and a Taylor Heineke. Don't get me wrong. Like Taylor Heineke, like we've always said, he's a straight up ball player. But Carson Wentz has the arm talent to put passes in places that we seen Taylor Heineke simply couldn't make last year. There was one pass specifically on I think it was the first or the second draft. I mean, first or the second drive of the game. Carson Wentz throws something outside the hashes to Antonio Gibson to get us in the red zone. And you have a safety coming over the top, and then also the corner underneath. With Taylor Heineke last year, that is an interception. And Carson Wentz places the ball where none of the defenders can get a chance to it. It's either AG or nobody. And that's the difference right there. The man can make big boy throws. Like I said, in that first half, he did have miscues. But like I said, with the good, there's the ugly. You got to take both. Football is a game of different things are going to happen. And like I said, you got to ride that roller coaster. And we know here in Washington, being a Washington fan, best believe you're going to be on a roller coaster, ups and downs. But seeing those first two drives in touchdowns was absolutely amazing, man. The stadium was rocking. I lost my voice by the second quarter. By the second quarter, I was telling my girl, hey, look, can you go get me a bottle of water? Because I like it was crazy in there. So like I said, that first half, pretty good. Like I said, Curtis Samuel fumbled the ball after having an amazing first half. You would like to see, not see that happen. And we were driving. That's the one thing about that drive. Like that drive, I really felt like we were going to score on that drive. The momentum was in our hands. We were making big plays. We were getting whatever we wanted. And that fumble really, took the win out the sail. So we go into halftime. Like I said, Jacksonville had a lot of miscues and stuff like that, opportunities they didn't take advantage of. Listen, I'm not going to sit here and cry about that. You can sit here and cry about it. At the end of the day, they didn't take advantage of it. We went into halftime 14-3. We came out of the half, and we were still sluggish, weren't really able to get anything going, and Jacksonville was able to finally get some things swaying in their way, making some big plays. James Robinson, man, he looked really good. Coming off that Achilles injury, I was not expecting that. I wanted to see how much they would use him, but when he was running the ball, he was getting downhill, and he was definitely slashing us from time to time whenever he touched the ball. The defense, 3 for 12 on third down. And that's not the whole story because, like I said, we were getting bailed out sometimes, but it don't matter. That's huge for us, and I know it's Jacksonville, but I don't care who it is. In the NFL, it doesn't matter who you're playing. These are NFL players. They're professional athletes. It is hard to get wins in the NFL. You always hear Carson say any win is a good win. Doesn't matter how it looks. I'll take it. You know what I'm saying? Third quarter, they were able to get back in that game and make it interesting, taking the lead to go up 22-14. And at that moment in the stadium, after Carson Wentz had threw those two picks, in the first one, he was simply laid on. I like sitting in the stadium looking at it, you could just see like if he would have threw that maybe 2 seconds earlier, it would have been there. That's one of those passes where that needs to be the first read. And I heard Ron in his presser say that he was going through his reads and he was kind of stuck on one guy and then he went to that. Those type of routes, you can't take that long to throw that. You have to lead your receiver. As soon as they come out the break, that has to be in front of him. So he was late on that, and I know we probably would like to have that one back. But, hey, it is what it is. It happened. We got to take it. We got to roll with it. But then after Jacksonville gets points off of that, he comes back out again, and in the stadium, you couldn't really see the play that Trayvon Walker made, but you just seen the crowd, the few Jacksonville fans that were there, they were going crazy, and you see Trayvon Walker running down the sideline. And I'm like, what just happened? And everybody in the stadium next to me sat down, and I'm still standing up because I'm like, this is crazy. And so now I'm been able to actually look at the replay. That was just a beautiful play by a defensive end. Trayvon Walker, he was upfield. He was still engaged with the offensive lineman, and he like leans back and times it perfectly as Carson Wentz throws this ball and catches it. That was just that was a big play. Good for the rookie. He made a play. It is what it is. And that took, like I said, that really took the air out of the stadium, and you could tell. But for me, where I was at that moment, I'm standing up still. A lot of people sitting down. I'm standing up, and I'm looking at the clock, and I'm like, it's too much time left. We're going to win this game. It was still like 12 minutes left. Like I said, Jacksonville up 22-14. All the momentum has swung. But then Carson Wentz comes back out there, leads a drive, hits Terry McLaurin for an absolute bomb. Beautiful pass. Led that man. Like, Terry McLaurin ain't used to being led like that. The ball was right there. Didn't have to break stride. These are the throws that you will get from Carson Wentz. Those are the interceptions that you can get from Carson Wentz, but also those big-time throws, big-time moments. He stands in the fire and delivers it to the captain, Terry McLaurin, who absolutely erupted the place, got in the end zone. You love to see it. That's two receivers right there. Curtis Samuel with the first touchdown. Then you got Jahan Dotson, who we're going to talk about in a minute. And then you got Terry McLaurin, the captain, gets in the end zone to get this game back close. And then we finish it off with a second, not one, the second touchdown for Jahan Dotson, the rookie. I mean, what a debut, man. Like, imagine being a rookie receiver and you scoring 2 touchdowns in your debut, your first game. I'm talking to my girl before the game. I'm like, hey, you see number 1 right there? He's a rookie, giving her the down low on him and everything like that, telling her, like, he's a professional. He's a dog. He's going to do special things. And he did not disappoint. What a fitting way to win that game, man. That was absolutely crazy, nuts. Being there just hit different, man. The stadium was rocking. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Great game, man. I'm so glad that I was able to be there for that moment. Like, you don't even understand, like, how crazy that game was, actually being there in the moment, man. And then the next drive, the defense, Derek Forrest, who everybody has only looked at him as a special team guy, had to step in. Cam Curl, as we know, he was injured, and making big plays all day long. And then he seals the game with the interception. He absolutely rocked Etienne on the sideline. I mean, took the wind out of this man, took his soul out of his body. That's the type of play we need from this defense. And then also the players, I want to give them a shout out because they were actually interacting with the fans. Whenever they would make a play on defense or special teams or whatever it is, they would circle the end zone and put their hands up like this, get the crowd going. That's what we need at FedEx Field, man. That's what we need with this team, man. It was different. It hit different. The experience was absolutely crazy. Like I said, the defense stepped up big where we needed them, and that was fitting as well because we've been giving this defense a hard time, and for them to able to end the game in that fashion was a beautiful thing to see. The place went absolutely nuts. Let's talk about it, man. All 3 of our receivers, all 3 of our starters, Curtis Samuel, Terry McLaurin, and the rookie Jahan Dotson got in the end zone. No, not one of these receivers had over 100 yards, but you would have thought that all 3 of them had over 100 yards because the plays they made when they made them was right on time. And then also I got to give a shout out to my man, Antonio Gibson, out there absolutely balling, 130 all-purpose yards. The guy was passes, looking like a straight-up receiver, also getting downhill when he did run the ball, not doing a lot of dancing in the backfield. And, ball security was one of the things I brought up. I tweeted it on Twitter, and I said, ball security was going to be a key to this game. We did not win the turnover battle. We only had 1 turnover, which if you really want to, count that one, like that was at the end of the game where Trevor Lawrence just throws something up, trying to make something happen. And they had three. You're not supposed to win these games, but we were able to do that. But what that does show is, as you look at the Bills game with the Rams, they had turnovers, and they were still able to spank the Rams. And then also the Bengals, they had 5 turnovers, and they lost in overtime, which a lot of fans and people feel like they should have won the game, but they had some weird situation with their snapper or something like that. So they had 5 turnovers. For them to even still be in that game is absolutely crazy. So what that tells me is this offense, the ability of this offense, and we're just getting started. This ain't even the tip of it. Nowhere even close. We have an electrifying offense. We have deadly weapons, man. And I'm excited to see Scott Turner continuing to get in this bag. I know a lot of fans are like, oh, he's getting cute, this, and that. But listen, man, we ain't been able to get cute in Washington. We ain't been able to have the amount of weapons that we have. Let that man work. Let things develop. Everything's not going to work, but the threat of something working, that's what you want to show teams. Like Jahan Dotson, he talked in his presser and he said that play that Carson threw the interception on, that actually stemmed to him making that game-winning touchdown, because they gave him the same look, that out route. And then he knew that corner, I think that was Campbell, Tyson Campbell, he was going to sit on it. And he sat on it, and he was able to turn upfield and get over the top of him for the touchdown. So showing certain looks, and then you're able to build off those plays and stuff like that, man. I loved what Scott Turner was doing. Like I said, we got so many weapons. This offense, oh, man, there's no ceiling for this thing. And then wait till we get Brian Robinson back. Like I said, man, AG did a terrific job. We seen what they wanted to do with him in space. They utilized it to perfection. J.D. McKissick, his role as well. And then I want to give a shout out to Logan Thomas, man. He made some big plays and some big moments. Carson Wentz missed him a couple times as well, and it's hard to miss him. But that just shows you how sometimes Carson Wentz can be off. But Logan Thomas made plays when we needed him, man. That's why I love that guy. It was really good to see him out there, for real, man. He had the knee brace on and everything, but like I said, it was super dope to see him out there being a part of this first Commanders win. Like I said, man, offense looked amazing. We got work to do still. We're nowhere near perfect. Next, we're on to Detroit. No team to sleep on. I'm not sleeping on them. We seen they stuck in there with Philadelphia. They were able to creep back into that ball game. So, we got a battle on our hand, and I'm taking it 1 week at a time. I'm going to key in on every team respectfully. You know what I'm saying? I'm not overlooking anybody right now. We focused on Detroit, going to Detroit. Hopefully we can start this season 2-0. That would be absolutely amazing. And like I said, man, what a gutsy win. I like this win because we fought through adversity. We were up, and then, also, we were back down, and then we were able to overcome that. And the players were able to see that Carson Wentz has no quit in him, and he told them, like, this one's on me. I got this. You know what I'm saying? And he was a man of his word, and he got it done. The guy threw 4 touchdowns in his debut as a Commander. Like I said, crazy to see. We didn't get to the 30-point mark, but I feel like there's going to be plenty of those games where we're going to be in the 30s. So it's exciting to see actual capable offense that's able to score points. And like I said, we're just getting started here, man. Just getting started here. Like I said, the Commanders win the game 28-22. Wentz revenge tour, as you see at the bottom, looking for revenge. It started, man. It's on. And we got teams on this list. We out here commanding respect because people's talking crazy right now. But we're gonna take it one game at a time. We got to play the games. We got to put in the work. We're taking a hit, man, on the defensive line. We already don't have Chase Young. Hopefully we'll get him back after he the fourth game. Hopefully, if he's ready to go, only if he's healthy, 100% healthy. Don't want to see him otherwise. But losing for Darren Mathis, that's a blow. And then also John Allen got banged up as well. They did bring a guy in today. UFDA, I think he was with the Pittsburgh Steelers. So we'll see, another depth piece. But like I said, we still got work to do. We just getting started. But I just wanted to come on here and talk to you guys about the game day experience, and then also, you know, some of my takeaways from the game. Get in the comments. Let me know your takeaways from the game. What was your favorite moments? What do you think? What do you think is the ceiling for this team, man? Like I said, super exciting to see this stuff going down here in Washington. Out here commanding respect, man. So with that being said, it's your boy RBA from VA. Peace.